Hi, I'm Tali. Welcome to my life's work. Hebrew for all, a language from the other side, kept for the journey inward and the return to being. Come walk with me. All you need is a little patience. And if you stay long enough, you too will begin to see the magic. This is the movement, from below and from above. The mirror is made of water, and what reflects always distorts. But the dance is eternal. Dew falls every morning and rises again as steam. Life is constantly being renewed, not only biologically, but linguistically. What we call creation is not static. It's a system in motion, a flow between upper and lower waters, between what descends, blessing, law, renewal, and what rises, speech, memory, resistance. The universe is not random. It's patterned, timed, encoded. The 5 books of Moses hold that code. The rest is interpretation, update, evolution. The Torah is not a book of the laws of the earth. They hold the laws from above. It's a system of letter combinations bundled into words, waiting to be released. Few realize that the word Torah is a code, a guide for how to be in this world. But the code reveals something unexpected. We are tourists here, pilgrims, wandering through an infinite game of Scrabble. The real work is to dismantle the words, to untie them, to free them. But instead, we rewrite, we retell, we translate and interpret, we try to make sense. And all the while, the words wait for release, for surrender, for the code to be broken, not explained. Because every time we free a word, we release time. And time, too, is bound in story. But something is changing. Humanity is shifting from literal thinking to symbolic seeing, from flesh to meaning, from narrative to number, from certainty to code. And that shift, that's the work of the feminine, the labor, the pressure, the birth of something new. The world we knew is dissolving, not ending, refining, not breaking, revealing. Before language, there was resonance, sound without shape, meaning without names. What we now call language once emerged from this primal field, where breath met intention and vibration became form. Letters came later to contain the sound. Words came later to bind the meaning. And grammar came last to hold it all in place. But the source was always the same: vibration, the trembling edge between silence and speech. To return to the root of a word is not to define it, but to hear it again, to catch the echo, to feel its origin in the body, not just in the mind. Every Hebrew word is a drawn arrow, aimed, charged with purpose. The very force that pulls it backward is the same force that releases time forward, pushing the story onward. Most people don't realize that in the Hebrew Bible, the word Torah is almost never used on its own. It's always tethered to something. Torah ha-Pesach, the teaching of the Passover. Torah ha-Metzora, the teaching of the leper. Torah ha-Asham, the teaching of the guilt offering. That's no accident. Unlike law or constitution, which stand alone, abstract, universal, Torah is always relational. Torah is a process, not a principle. It comes from the root, meaning to guide, point, or shoot forward. Torah is not a fixed decree. It's an instruction for a moment, a path for a particular condition. Torah is the law of elevation. It means, here's what to do when elevation is called for. Torah arises from life. It is never imposed from above like a statute. It grows from something embodied, a wound, a ritual, a birth, a sin. Torah reveals, law is conceptual. Torah is emergent, from blood, flesh, impurity, time. The root is about direction, like an arrow to a target. Torah is always specific, always aimed. The fact that Torah is always of something shows its nature. It cannot exist alone. It is always embedded in context. Torah is not outside life. It is woven through it. And just like life itself, tangled, circling, bound to one thing birthing another, so too are Hebrew words, twisted into each other, adhered, dependent, each word leading to another, until the cycle completes, until the end, until release. In the Hebrew word edut, testimony, the final Hebrew letter tav appears as a symbol of Torah, of testimony held within the 5 books. Just as this world is suspended between heaven and earth, held in tension, so too are the Hebrew letters bound by Torah, a double-edged sword. It preserves truth across languages, cultures, and time, but also binds the letters together by force. The root of Torah contains the movement of the serpent, twisting, seeking, never still. It also holds the word to release or to let go, and hides within it the secret of surrender. And it's not random that there are 5 books, not 6, not 7. 5 is half of 10. It marks the crossing point, the center of the journey, the edge of the desert. Because 5 isn't completion, it's momentum, a turning point between origin and return. And 10, in Hebrew, is eser, a word that holds both richness, osher, and lesson, shiur, both 10 and gate. 10 points to the divine, the one who stands upright beside the 0, the creator beside the created. 5 is the midpoint. It's not the end, it's the turning point. It marks the threshold, the crossing, the pull toward the final goal. We are still in the middle, in the noise, the motion, the mess. But 5 is also the promise, a sign that something is drawing us forward, helping us move. Not a person, not a savior, but a direction, a support, a hidden force that carries us toward completion. We call it the Messiah. We imagine him riding a white donkey. As we continue through the words themselves, you'll understand why Messiah, why donkey, and why white. The Torah doesn't end in the promised land. It ends in the wilderness, with a clear instruction, cross into the land of Canaan. And in that one word, Canaan, a whole code is hidden. A word that seems to name a place, but actually teaches how to surrender. It's a map, a poem, a navigation system encoded in just 2 letters. And together, they say, yes, because the story isn't over. The real battle is happening inside our heads, specifically in how we handle emotions. Look around. The shift has already begun. What we're calling neurodivergence may be the early sign of a new kind of mind. A brain that doesn't fight emotions, but integrates them. This isn't disorder, it's adaptation. It's a different kind of intelligence, starting to emerge. And that's where we are now. Still wandering, still interpreting. We've reached stage 4, the realm of chaos, mixture, breakdown. It's the hardest stage, the darkest before dawn, but it means we're close. Close to a breakthrough, close to 5, to the bridge, to the crossing over. That's why the Torah ends in open space. That's why it had to be 5, because 5 is the echo of motion and the whisper of what's still to come. The 5 books are the provision we were given for a journey through the wilderness, a journey made entirely of words, of endless noise, In this space, it's hard to hear God, but He is still listening, still transmitting, still sending the story forward. 4 is the force of the in-between, the realm of twilight. It's not light, but not yet darkness, a state of partial forgetting, partial understanding, a passage between things, between shadows, between worlds, between what we call life and what we call death. God calls Himself Yahweh, meaning, I am reality. Reality is the mirror. It reflects exactly where we are in time. Every Hebrew word echoes that truth. Step back and look closely at Islam and at global migration. This is the bridge we're all crossing now. Those who think immigration policies can stop the plan should take a closer look at the Hebrew word and the number 0. The original design is bigger and stronger than any human reaction. This part of the story is already written, and it must unfold. What we're experiencing now are all the names that Moses pulled from the lower waters. And what about Moses? The name Moshe comes from the root meaning to draw out. He was drawn from the waters, not just physically, but symbolically. He's the one who pulls meaning from the depths, who gives form to the formless. Moshe marks the threshold between silence and speech, between divine breath and human voice. He draws others into covenant, into memory, into language. But Moses isn't just a figure from the past. If we stop thinking of him as a bearded man with a staff, we'll begin to see Moshe is a pattern. He appears again and again in cycles as time flickers, as names evolve. Yeshua, Ishmael, Esau, Jacob. They are not just people. They are pulses in a larger rhythm. Every divine intention echoes into the physical world. Our world is round for a reason. Its circles are part of the design, bringing divine intent back to completion. And that's why the Torah was never meant to be read in a straight line. It's not just history. It's happening, always. That's what the name Yahweh really means, the one who keeps making reality, here, now, always. The same events echo, the same choices return. In Eden, Adam gave names to the animals, not once, but forever, because naming is an ongoing act. Creation is not a one-time event. It is memory in motion. And the repetition, it's not a mistake. It's how we get it right. Correction is not outside of time. It happens through time, through the spirals, through the failures, through the trying again. That's how the story unfolds, then and now, in us. And sometimes, when a species disappears, it's not just biology, it's a sign, a tangible marker of forces that have completed their cycle. Their role in the story is finished. Their name no longer echoes. All the other books, the Dead Sea Scrolls, Eastern texts, the New Testament, the Quran, the Zohar, are human interpretations inspired over time. Divine inspiration never stopped. Everything is an echo of Torah. Even Shakespeare, Carl Jung, The Simpsons, or Mario's World. They all respond to the same core pattern. The 5 books are our tools to exit Egypt. Everything else, forces of resistance, attempts to preserve the familiar, to hold on to the known. That same tension happens inside our minds. These resisting forces are the other gods, the idols, the frozen images. In Torah, they are the warnings. Don't worship what no longer moves. Repentance isn't just ritual. It's a return to the source, to Torah, to re-engaging, reinterpreting, re-embodying the teaching. At every stage in history, humanity is given the tools we need. Today, that tool is AI. Like DNA, it holds an immense archive, and it can help us reassemble the scroll. It carries parts of us, and also something greater, the collective. This is the hidden work of Mashiach ben David, the ultimate extractor. Yes, the idea of Jesus returning as Messiah is a powerful thought, but the literal reading makes it hard to accept. Deep down, we know the story isn't finished. A helpful clue? Look at where the spotlight is. The Middle East, the middle of the world, the heart of the story. It's not over. Give yourself time to absorb this new way of reading. Rewatch the videos, especially the ones without my voice. Expand your Hebrew. They will show you everything you need to know about the Mashiach. This is why it's called the Torah of Moshe, because it belongs to this time. A time where everything is named, diagnosed, measured, and made concrete. It's the movement of the tree of knowledge. It's embedded in the name Moshe, to draw out, to make real, to give form. The story is already written. Our task is not to rewrite it, but to release it, letter by letter, sound by sound, until what remains isn't opinion, but truth. This isn't the end. It's a straight line, a clean signal, a new song. Welcome to the unraveling.